we're getting a lot of people that are asking about permanent residency in St. Kitts. So what I want to do is I wanted to go over some steps with you. It's a lot cheaper if you go that route in getting permanent residency. So yeah, you'll end up, as far as versus getting citizenship, but again, it's going to take you 14 years before you can apply for citizenship, and you may or may not get it. It would depend at that point, you know, what would happen. So you would have to make a decision if you want to go that route. So anyway, let me just give you the steps on what you want to do for that. And that is, number one, permanent residency gives you a lot of rights that you would not get otherwise. But what's going to happen, it does have some sort of discrimination in that the fact is you can't get certain businesses that citizens can get. So you know, you will have a certain amount of being locked out of opportunities. But I would say in most cases, getting permanent residency, you'll probably be able to accomplish whatever you want. I would have to look at your situation and kind of determine if, you know, your situation would work out just getting permanent residency, or would it be better getting citizenship. Also, folks, if you want to legally get around paying high income taxes, or how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button right of your screen. You get new videos automatically as they come out. And number 2 is I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Just ask for some help. Okay, we're going to hit some noise here, so I'm going to try to get through this quick. All right, now let's look at permanent residency. And again, permanent residency in St. Kitts gives you the right to work. I'm actually going to walk over and show you some properties too that you could build on that have incredible views. And what this will do is it will give you the right to work outside the country, and possibly to have a business inside the country. It depends on the business that you're doing. Like I said, there's protected businesses that only citizens can do. So if you've got a problem with that, you might want to get citizenship here quick through the economic citizenship program. So that's what you're going to have to decide. As I mentioned before, I would say St. Kitts is one of the most hidden gems in the world today. And the reason is no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax. Property tax is 0.20% of whatever you purchase in the St. Kitts, with a $29,600 US exclusion before that 0.20% kicks in. So virtually, if you buy something under that exemption limit, you pay no property taxes, okay? Now, and 0.20% above that $29,600 US anyway is damn low. I mean, most places you're going to find out in the US, hell, if you go to Texas, you're looking at over 2% property tax. New Jersey's like 2.5%. I mean, it's ridiculous. And New Jersey's got a state income tax on top of their ridiculous property tax they've got. And then you got the federal tax on top of that. Social Security, Medicare, you get wiped out, man, okay? This is where you need to come, all right? Now, again, if you're a U.S. citizen, as I mentioned before, you can qualify for the foreign overseas exclusion. This year, it's $112,000 per person. If you're married, you can go up to $224,000. Both of y'all work in the business. And that can get you to zero right there, depending on what your income is. Now, if you're looking for something that's going to be above that, the best way to do it is to relinquish, okay? If you want to get to zero, that's the best way to do it. If you're a U.S. citizen, if you're a Canadian, you're from another high-tax country in Europe, the best way to do it is move out and be out long enough to detax yourself legally, okay, from that country. You might have to pay an exit tax depending on the country, and then go from there. Now, let me tell you something about buying property in St. Kitts. All right, what you're going to find out, St. Kitts has got 40,000 people. Nevis has got about 10,000, so the two together around 50,000. I've got other videos on Nevis. The reason I picked St. Kitts, I looked myself, and I'm going to tell you something, there's no comparison. You've got just more of everything here. Look at my videos, because I don't have time on this video to tell you. There's no comparison. You want St. Kitts over Nevis because it's going to have more amenities, more doctors, electricians, plumbers, everything to choose from, that when you get there to Nevis, you're going to have a lot less to choose from. And if you have to hire somebody from Nevis, they're going to charge you to get on a boat to come over there. And you're going to find out you're going to have to come to St. Kitts a lot of times to get things done, which is going to cost you a lot of time and money getting on that ferry. There is no bridge. You have to take a ferry going back over. All right, so the key is now is to center down. If St. Kitts is the best place to go, where would you pick? Well, I tell you something, there's several things you got to look at. You want to look at views, but you want to look at location too. All right, St. Kitts, it's roughly, if you go from the Southeast Peninsula all the way around the whole country, it's around 50 miles, okay? But the best area where people that are wealthy that come in, I'm going to tell you something, 9 times out of 10, they're going to pick places like I'm showing you right here, okay? Now, I'm going to show you right here where this house is right there. That's the end of Frigate Bay, all right? From that blue house where Sunrise Hills Villas is, all right, going back this way, this is called Half Moon Bay now. And there's actually if you looked at a map, from that house going all the way up, all the way down the golf course here, all the way back this way to the top of that hill behind that wall, that's called Half Moon Bay on this side of it. Frigate Bay is on the other side. So they're right next to each other. These are the two places that I would be centering on looking at, okay? Now, they both have their advantages and disadvantages, which I'm going to go over with you. What you're going to find out is the properties drop in price dramatically for the lots when you go from Frigate Bay to Half Moon Bay. Now, why is that? There's only one reason, okay? That is, there is a land alien holder license fee that if you're not a citizen, you're going to have to pay if you buy in here. That's 10% of whatever you purchase. And that's done when you buy it, okay? They actually do a background check on you too, okay? So when you're looking to get something and you're going to purchase it in Half Moon Bay, in fact, Frigate Bay and the citizenship zones are one of the few places, if you're going to get permanent residency and you're not going to be a citizen, if you buy in Frigate Bay, you won't have the land alien holding license or in the citizenship zones. But if you buy outside of that, in most cases, you're going to end up paying a 10% land alien holding license, okay? So that's why it's cheaper, because, you know, that's built in, okay? So that's, in fact, sometimes you'll find it cheaper in Half Moon Bay, even with the 10% added to it, versus Frigate Bay over here. Now, let me tell you some things I like about Frigate Bay that you don't have, in Half Moon Bay, that you don't have in Frigate Bay. All right, if you look down here, and you won't notice this if you come down, that's why I'm showing it to you, because you'll notice it if you move down here and you're here for a while, all of a sudden you'll pick this up. If you look at all these magazines that they've got in St. Kitts, they always have pictures right around this area right here. Why? Because this is where the golf course meets directly with the ocean. You don't have that with, in most cases, with Frigate Bay. Okay, if you go to Frigate Bay, between the golf course and the ocean, you've got a lot of condos. So you don't have this greenery that drops off right in the ocean. Kind of, I call it the Pebble Beach look, okay? And this is the thing that's really neat about Half Moon Bay that you don't have in Frigate Bay. And that view can really knock your owls out, especially when you're up on the hilltop, which I'm going to show you. If I don't show you today, if I don't have enough time, I'll show you on the next tape. Some lots up on here on the very top. They have incredible views. I'm actually going to show you the views. I might have to do that on a separate tape if this tape runs out here. So this is what you want to be looking for, is these type views. Why? These are big homes. It's a nice area. People keep the houses up. Sure, can you find views like this on maybe in other areas? Yeah, but the areas aren't that good, okay? They don't have homes like this. They don't keep the houses up. You've got to look at that, because I'm going to tell you something, when people come in, that's what they're going to be looking for if they got money, okay? And so, you know, you want to be sticking with areas where people paint their houses, they keep them up, and this is what you want here, okay? Now, this is the Marriott Golf Course. Probably one of the most inexpensive golf courses I've ever seen. So if you're a golfer, you're in golf heaven here, man. I'll tell you something. And there's no comparison between the Marriott Golf Course fees and the Four Seasons. Four Seasons is a beautiful place over in Nevis, but you're going to end up spending a lot more. And like I said, everything costs more in Nevis. And you can look at my other videos on why that is. I don't have time to tell you that today. But we have separate videos strictly on Nevis and St. Kitts that you can look at. All right, now, this area here is called New Haven, Half Moon Heights, Half Moon Bay. Depends on which section of Half Moon Bay you're looking at on these lots. But these lots up here, to me, are the best priced lots in the whole Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis for the amount of money you pay for them. When you look at location, close to amenities, people keep the houses up, the cost per square foot, I'm telling you, this is by far the best place. And then also Frigate Bay too. I think I like Frigate Bay a lot too, okay? And Frigate Bay, I've got other videos on that, why I like Frigate Bay so much also. So if you're looking for permanent residency, okay, without the right to work, when I say without the right to work, you still can get approval here in St. Kitts when you come here to set up even a local business. Outside, you don't even have to do it. If you're doing something outside, the government doesn't pretty much care as long as it's a legal business, okay? If you're doing it outside the country and you've got a company that's outside in a different location than St. Kitts, you're not using St. Kitts as the address for the company, okay? If you're going to use St. Kitts as the address of the company and you're working as the company, as a local company here, you're going to have to get licensed in most cases. I mean, there are some rare cases, but most cases you're going to have to get licensed. And you file a quarterly tax return. That's how that works. If you do business outside the country, then it's depending on where that other company is located and where your business is for the laws and the licensing requirements for that particular country, whether it's Belize, Seychelles, Hong Kong, wherever it is, okay? All right, now, if you look at the view of these houses up here, you can see, I mean, these are big homes, okay? This is what you want to be looking at, and there are actually some really good prices on some of these homes. Now, if you want to build your own house, I'm actually going to walk up and show you some lots that are just knockouts. And you want to be, and I might not be able to show you today, like I said, I might be running out here pretty soon. I can show you on the next video. You can stay tuned for that. There's several areas up in here you can look at, but what this will do is you buy the lot, you can build it for your specifications, okay? And then as long as it's $300,000 with the lot and the structure that you're building, you can apply for permanent residency, which will allow you to come and go. You don't have to stay here all the time. You can take off and leave. It gives you the permanent right to live here, come and go. You stay as long as you want. But let me tell you what I like about this. So many people are flocking to Dubai, and they're setting up businesses that does very little to no business in Dubai. What they're doing is they're doing business outside the country. Folks, that's just, I don't want to call it dumb. It's ignorant, okay? Because they don't know the difference. If you know the difference, then yeah, I'd say it's dumb, stupid dumb. Because you're going to end up spending thousands and thousands of dollars that you wouldn't even have to do. You can do the same thing here. You can get permanent residency, have a business outside the country, and you don't even have to have a license fee if you're not doing business here, okay? You're just living here, okay? Now, Dubai, you can't do that. Dubai, it's very difficult. They do have some type investment visas, but you're going to end up spending thousands of dollars more money in fees than you would here, okay? And This is by far not only the cheapest way, but the weather here is a lot better. You don't have the heat that you got in Dubai, which can just, I mean, take your breath away. Summertime, you walk outside, man, and it just knocks you out. It's so hot. I've been there before, and it's 120 degrees. Hottest place I've ever been on the face of this earth. You want a place that's nice weather. You can swim all year round. Okay, believe it or not, in Dubai, though in the wintertime, I'd say from November through March, it's literally too cold to swim outside. But then it goes from cold to just blistering hot. I've never seen a country that changes so much in a month. There is no spring there. It goes directly from heat to where, or from cold to where it's blistering hot. And so many people end up spending a lot of time in their malls because it's just too hot to even walk outside. But you don't have that here. In fact, here it doesn't get even as hot as Florida. So your weather is really nice in the Leeward Island chain of countries. Not just here, but any of the places in the Leeward Island chain have the best, I think, weather of any place in the world. All right, now, so we set up, you get a lot, you build according to your specifications, you show proof, the amount that you pay, you get the permanent residency, and then you just come and go as you want, okay? If you're gone for 2 years, no big deal. The problem you got with Dubai, to keep that visa going, you're gonna have to travel through the Emirates there. You're gonna have to do that at least once every 6 months, or you'll lose the visa, and you have to go through all that process again. It's a mess. So the best way to do it, like I said, if you're not going to have local business inside the country, I'm telling you, this is the best way to go. It's the cheapest. If you're from the US or Canada, it's so close to your family. Dubai is like on the other side of the world, and you don't have a string attached where you got to be coming through here, okay? This is the best way to do it. I'm telling you, I was in Dubai for 4 years, so I'm telling you, I've been both places. I'm telling you, this is a lot better deal, okay? And I'll tell you something else too. Dubai is pretty good as far as air pollution goes, but I've been over there before where it's just stifling sometimes, where the air pollution is bad. I never opened my window. You get sand coming in constantly. It's a mess. I keep my window open here all the time. I mean, that's the nice thing about here is you don't have to worry about pollution, air pollution. To me, that's more important than money or anything else, you know? So these are some things I would be looking at. Now, to actually, to get the permanent residency started, you can pick your lot out. We can help you do that, okay? And we can also refer you to a good building contract. Folks, there's some good ones and there's some bad ones down here. You want to pick somebody that's not going to be a headache. We can refer you to some good builders down here, and then you can choose which one between those that's the best way to go, okay? Now, once you get the permanent residency, you can actually, once you do that, you can have, you don't have the right to work. Doesn't mean you can't work here locally. You would have to get approved for that business that you're involved with, okay? And they can approve it or they might not approve it. But like I said, if you've got a business that's done outside of St. Kitts anyway, it's illogical to do that. Your fees are going to be a lot less, although the licensing fees are almost nothing here anyway. But, you know, if the business is outside, it's in another country, then you're not having to pay a quarterly tax return or anything like this, which is real simple. That thing takes you about 2 or 3 minutes to fill out. It's not a complicated form. It's like 3 lines you put in. It's as simple as, it's like touching up a postcard. It's very, very simple to fill that form out. But if you're doing it offshore, outside the country, I'm telling you, you're better off picking a structure like they've got here. They've got the best. But let me tell you why I like it here with the permanent residency, is if you decide that you don't want to wait 14 years before you apply for the passport. You can switch immediately, get the fast track program, and get it as quick as around 60 days, okay? So you always have that option if you want to do that. But your government fees will be a lot higher when you go with the citizenship by investment option, the economic citizenship fast track, than if you're willing to wait 14 years. That's a long time, okay? And again, 14 years, if you put the time in here, it's required. More than likely, you're going to get the passport, okay? But it's not like the fast track. Pretty much you're going to get that if you don't have any sort of civil or criminal issues. But the background check is nowhere near after 14 years what it is at the beginning if you go with a fast track program. Totally different background checks, okay? And the cost is, well, let me just tell you some figures. And I did this a long time ago in another video, so I don't know if you got this. We did a computation getting permanent residency. Well, actually, we did it on working here in St. Kitts. We did the computation, and this can change because I'm taking past figures, I don't know what the future is going to hold. But because there is another option. You don't even have to buy the $300,000 property. You can set up a business and come to St. Kitts and literally rent, okay? You don't even have to buy. And you can set up a business. Now, it can't be a protected business, but if you want to do business outside the country, that's going to be difficult because you can't just do that and not buy a property here, okay? They're giving you the right to come here, live income tax free here, but you would have to purchase a $300,000 property. If you want to come here and set up a local business, you can also come and go here, but it's going to have to be a local business. You can't just set up something outside and then get, residency here and stay here and not buy any property, anything like that. So I'm giving you these options. Or you can get citizenship, the fast track program. That's another way too, okay? Or you can marry a national. That's another way. But that's still going to take you a while before you get the passport. Even when you marry a national, it will be quicker than going through the 14-year period by long shot, okay? So, that would be the way and the structure that you would do this. Now, some of those lots are right up on this hilltop. I'm going to see if I can get up there and show you this if I have enough time. So anyway, I've given you the steps on how to actually get this done, okay? And then I've given you the different ways. Now, the one thing I wanted to tell you, I almost got off on a tangent here, is if you want to get this citizenship by working, having a business that's a local business here, and you don't buy a property, you're just setting up a local business, okay? You're renting or whatever. Once you're here for 14 years, you can apply for the passport. Now, this is the key though. If you do that, we did a tabulation, getting the worker's permit, you're going to have to pay the business license. We added up all that roughly over 14 years, and it's going to be right around 15,000 US. That's over that whole time period, okay? Roughly. Let's just say, in case they increase those figures, let's say 20,000 to 25 over 14 years. We did the figures and it was roughly around 13 or 14,000, but more than likely that's going to change over 14 years. But that's pretty much all you're paying all the way up to applying for citizenship. And the citizenship is almost nothing once you apply and you've done the 14-year period, okay? In fact, I think that actually included, I think that included the passport too. And also your passport's cheaper if you naturalize versus doing it economic citizenship-wise. It's a lot cheaper, okay? But you sweated 14 years to get it, okay? You had to wait a long time. But yeah, I think we figured that out. It was around, with the passport, citizenship, everything together was right around 13 or 14,000 when we did the figures on that, okay? And that was over that time period. And these are government fees. I'm talking about government fees that you would end up paying, okay? So this is what you want to be looking at. Now, you can see the views up here, how nice they get when you get up here, okay? And I'm going to do another video. You can look at the other video. Folks, if you want to learn more on this, look at our next videos. We're going to have videos of the lots. You can kind of see these, the views, and you can see why I picked this area. This is a real nice area. Nice views, great area, big homes, incredibly good prices. If you want to know more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And again, don't forget, hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen. You get new videos automatically as they come in. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video.